So yeah, just a little update because I realized my last video was like 2 months ago, and I was like, oh, I'm showing off my my QTEs, and then I realized, wait a minute, I'm at like I went up 5 more levels in the game, and I had to come back and I had to rework the whole thing. So it still says 1.5, but I feel this is like 1. This is this is like it's not a patch. It's more of a major update because I knew the problem with with the with was whoever whoever as my current builds right now, whoever current builds are on itch right now. They're not as great. The problem is that I knew there was a problem, but I couldn't solve it. And then I said to myself, let me continue trying to figure out how to get getting the game going. So like I have all these treasure chests, which is just like the cards and stuff like that. And those who have the build don't have like number 19. So I just went up. I'm almost done it. 19. I got these entities here that I'm just using just to test out. They're not fully finished, but they're summonable and in their way, but they need to be really finished. But the problem was that as much as I was making all these characters and stuff like that, the gameplay loop was slowly killing me as my computer slowly, does it. So the gameplay loop was slowly killing me as time was going on. Like what happens is, um, you play the game and you would when you summon up any entity and stuff like that. Once you get to like a certain threshold, the game would just automatically kill you. Like you just casually just like I'm playing the game. I'm going to use 99 on my next entity. I'm going to summon my next entity. I'm going to use 99 because that's what gate key number one kind of gives you. Once it goes over 500, that's fine. Because what happens is that you understand it's kind of the illusion of I understand that I'm dying because I use too much and stuff like that. But the what I had like a couple ideas of how to like actually run the system, and each one of them failed until I kind of got to this one, which may be a failure. I haven't seen the failure forecast, but the previous one that is going on with the current builds all over. If I gave you a code for it, or happens that you just happen to snatch one up, or just happen to be playing the game right now and being like, I only got like halfway through. Um, the problem was like I had a decrease. I had a bunch of weird stuff going on. Like it was decreasing from the life bar, and it was trying to balance itself out. Like it was trying to not give. Like I was trying to individualize each characters, or actors or entities or in the game. I was trying to individualize each actor's a life bar, and I was like looking at plugins. I was like looking at like anything I could find. Like, okay, is there scripts I can use or plugins? I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can use this script. No, it didn't work. And maybe I can use that. There's variables. Like I started using variables after. Like I think in the 3 years of development, I think it's just that you get to learn your tools eventually. Because the first time I was using MV, it was like trying to make gate. I was trying to make gates. Like I was trying to make slots where they can go to, but I wasn't using variables before adding those before the slot. So I was confused on why it didn't work. Moved on to MZ, and then still the same thing, just a little upgrade to the system, but still the problem was still occurring. I was like, maybe if I just play around with them individually, and I didn't want to give every one of the characters a variable that you just change out their life points and stuff like that. It can work. If this doesn't work, there might be I might have to actually make, but I don't know, 100 plus, maybe less than 100, but maybe like the 94 as we have here. Maybe I'd make actual 94, but the problem was that you the lowest was 99 because 10 was the lowest that you can go through because don't want you having using trying to use like trying to use ones or something like that, just kind of like fill in the gap for entities, which you can, but it makes more reasonable for me to put let the game be like uh 10 10 life points you give 10 and above. Oh, I forgot to disconnect that. Sorry about that. That's my phone connecting to my thing. I'll probably cut that out. All right, anyways, it always did that. So what happens is like I didn't want I want to have like over 10, and I want to have 99 for your first levels as well. But the problem was it when you have 168, and I saw it and I couldn't figure out why it kept on killing me. I just died automatically. I'm like, oh, okay, well, no one's gonna really see this problem. But then I realized, okay, I need to overhaul the whole system. So right now I am trying to overhaul the whole system, and I found that all I really needed to do was, instead of just making a bunch of like gates. I started not switches. I made a bunch of switches, and the switches. My idea was that one switch, it may practically work still, like in your system, your game or something like that. Like if you're trying to do something like that. But what I tried to do was make a switch that would open up to everything in the A column, and then everything into the B column, C column, D column, and E column, and stuff like that. And through that, it would be like it was just like so much like you it would it would try to balance itself out. um and maybe some little visuals will help, but like every time you like you think you're done, but you actually have to kind of like come back and like redo something on the something. So that's understandable for like so much game development if you're doing independent and you're like learning on the fly, that you're gonna have to like, okay, well, this thing doesn't work. And I should stop talking. There we go. This thing's not gonna work, so I gotta do. I had to make it go. So, in some situations, like let's take the first character you ever get in the game. It's not like it's like it was. It kind of gives. It's kind of handed to you. There's like, well, you get life for it, so you don't really have to worry so much. It might break in the future because I'm still testing it, but I'm overhauling the whole system. uh, the first thing I would do was I had to revive the dead entity from being dead, and so I can actually do the thing. So I would detract from the main character, then give it to the next character. But then all of a sudden, everyone on the same. If you had like four people, like it works for one, but if you had like four different, three other entities on in the battlefield, everyone gets life zapped, and everyone gains life. And so what happens is like it accumulates. It's like you allocate, but then what happens is everyone else's life that goes down, just trying to balance it out. Your life to give to it, it didn't work out, and then I was like ignored it because I was like, okay, it works, but it needs to be fixed. And so what happens is I'm coming closer to actually finishing off all the characters that are needed for the game. So what happens is like it's taking me at least maybe like squeezing, maybe in 24 hours I can actually just get it all fixed and stuff like that, and and then out there. But it's, whoever's playing it already like, probably experienced it, said, and this is good. But the background system under the hood was that there was a lot of things that need to be fixed, of course. I tried to fix them, of course, and I think I have a modern solution, of course. But the problem is that it took a long time to find the thing. Now I have to do everything, go back into all of it, search for all the events, all the commands, and just like kind of like fix it up. There could be like I could learn how to Java, but then like the time to learn to Java and the time, I mean, there's some cases there are some scripts are needed, but the time to learn to Java and the time to actually get it done also takes time to get the thing done. So you gotta learn on the fly, and hopefully that you get everything understood. So here is the old one I was trying to do is like, okay, so I tried to zap, and then I opened a gate and I turned on a gate, which was everyone who was in A would get it. And the problem was that everyone you would summon out of A. So I was gonna leave it as a feature. Like I was gonna say this is a feature where if you use everyone that's in the A gate of summoning your entities from your gate key and stuff like that, they would get a bonus. Like they get bonus life, so they get like nine. So you go 99. It's just like you're already 100 because you can't go zero. It goes if you have at least one, so you get to 100. Then you get a plus 99 on top of it, and I was like, okay, that could hide the situation. That might be good. Work into the weaknesses, but I knew deep in me, I'm like, I have to fix this problem because you're playing the game and you're like, okay, well, I like that you have a certain amount, and then you're just like, I'm going to use the lowest amount, but then it automatically kills you, and you're like, I'm like, okay, wow, this no one's gonna find this unless they actually put in some work, just kind of thing. Maybe there are somebody out there. No one told me, but then I found a solution, so I'm fixing it now. But the game is playable even if you want to play with like that kind of hardcore mode. Maybe I might introduce it back into the game. So it's still the thing is still there. I call it the single life equation and stuff like that. But I might just bring back the single life equation pre former that I used to make the thing. Um, and if you actually made it far in the game, there's a battle with where it's a dual battle where two say two trainers, two duelists, two identifiers go into battle, and I'm still need to rework that battle because weapons I haven't got to it. And it was supposed to be spoiler alert if you're listening to this, or you want to close your ears for like maybe like 2 minutes because I don't think I can last that long. LOL. Um, what happens is that the what happens is you have two identifiers, um, LV and X Champ, whoever you want to name them. They're supposed to control two different ones, and you're supposed to and she's supposed to have a different deck than yours. But then what happens is they kind of cross into each other. And what I was trying to do was that she can there were supposed to be two gates, and so this is a rework on that battle. So if you have made it in previous versions of like 1.4 and stuff like that, and you've gotten there and you're wondering why is it so buggy and so problematic and stuff like that, it's because I didn't fully figure it out, but it worked. But what happens is that she has to like a lot of life, so it's not like you're going to lose and stuff like that when you once she kind of introduces the thing. Also, it's a way to say, hey, you know what, I wanted to have online co-op and stuff like that, or some sort of co-op. So I'm still looking to that. That's the whole game was supposed to be like it's supposed to be like a Yu-Gi-Oh kind of thing. Where it's supposed to be like hopefully there's some PvP. Maybe not in this generation of it, but maybe some more in the future. I wanted to encapsulate the kind of like two-player games that me and my brother had and stuff like that, where like we played against each other, or like I see him playing dual match, like playing the Yu-Gi-Oh game on the PlayStation and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, cool. I don't want to recreate the whole Yu-Gi-Oh thing, but I wanted my version of it, and I was like, it'd be cool if you had that kind of like co-op, or like Pokemon. You could probably like, I don't think you can co-op battles, but I know raid battles in Pokemon Go. But the idea is that you're supposed to co-op with somebody else, so it's a roadmap to something that could work in the future. An idea to put into the game before like actually getting there. Like all these ideas are being thrown in there to hopefully uh pan out what will be the future of OmanaC going further from there. So now I'm just kind of working out these whole things, and hopefully they will work out. So now I just got just a few more to go. I know what I'm going to be putting here, and it really stops at 20. 21 is because I have one. I'm experimenting with going further than 20, because like I said, this game was. I may have said before that this game was based on I'm playing the game on Amino apps, or the system there will require you to be certain level and stuff like that, and then it was to essentially like build the community up, to get the community to be more interactive and stuff like that. And from there it just turned into an RPG maker game because people didn't want to do the math in their heads. So what happens is that I decided I want to turn the math into uh by a computer, like I do for them. And hopefully, like, the game was supposed to always be PvP, but finding PvE is just one of those things that you gotta do. So hopefully that will be in the future, but there's a lot to fix up, a lot of things to get done. Maps still need to be fixed up. So I haven't experimented with anything like that. Like, there are things like if you make it far enough in the game, you can experience at least a 3 hour demo, and hopefully most of you have experienced that 3 hour demo of the game. If you have not, well, then you can go out and get it now. It's like the link will probably be right in the description, so you can actually get to try it yourself. Or you can always contact me. I'll give you the latest so you can try out. But there's a lot more to be done. I probably would make sure you don't get these actual extra cards because that'll be for the full game, and the full game will be commercial. It will be priced, so it's not like it's gonna be free. These are just like developer updates. So with that being said, I got lots to do, and lots to kind of like make with the game, and hopefully, in the future, you will enjoy all what I have here, and if I could get it done before then, and hopefully it won't be rushed, and hopefully it'll be time. So it's been 3 years trying to do this game, and there's a lot more to do. So that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.